In this video, I'm going to go over the special features in the Rocket Builder Options panel. This has been especially created to make your work faster and easier. Using it is extremely easy, and in just a few minutes, you can change a ton of things on your page. So in your WordPress dashboard, navigate to Appearance, Rocket Builder Options. First, we're going to go over all the options under Global. Under the General Options, you can choose if you want a full width or boxed layout. You can choose your grid width. You can choose the style, if you want the default style or a more simple style, the style of your buttons, style of your image frame. You can make a background for your box layout and choose the position. You can upload your custom favicon image and an Apple Touch icon. Don't forget to save your changes before you navigate anywhere else. Now, the logo was already covered in the header tutorial, so if you need any help with that, please refer to the header tutorial. Next, you can set up the timeouts for different sliders on a page. So any of these pages, you can set up the milliseconds between the slides. Again, make sure to always save your changes. Next is setting up the advanced options for your website. You get to choose who can see Rocket Builder. You get to choose how the content should be displayed, either first Rocket Builder, then WordPress Editor, or WordPress Editor, then Rocket Builder. You can remove the default content padding for all of your pages and posts without a sidebar. You can turn on and off animations for counter and quick fact. You can disable hover for table rows. You can disable certain post types that you do not need. You can also disable certain theme functions if you don't need any of the options listed under this section. You can add a short code for a slider that you want on all pages in this form right here. And this cannot be overridden, so if you have a slider in here, no other slider is going to appear on your site. You can choose to use static CSS files instead of the theme options, and you can change the table prefix. This is only for some multi-site installations. You need to change it to get the sliders list in the page options. If everything is working fine and you see the sliders list in your page options, you don't need to change this. Again, if you change anything under this section, make sure to hit Save Changes. Next is the hooks section. This is where you get to add a code, for example HTML, that will enable you to show different items and elements in locations that are not available when you're using Rocket Builder or Visual Composer. For example, if you wanted to put some code above the header, well, like a banner or information about cookies, you'd place it in the top field or one of the different areas that you want it. Make sure you click Save Changes. Now, all of these header options we've already gone over in a specific video for the header, so we're not going to cover that right here. If you need to know how to use the header options, go to the tutorial that is solely for the header. We are, however, going to go over your subheader options because we did not cover those in the tutorial. You can change the style of your subheader. You can hide your breadcrumbs. You can hide your entire subheader. You can add padding, a background image, the transparency, then a few advanced options. And again, make sure to click Save Changes. And header extras, you can add a title for an action button in the header top bar and a link for the action button in the header top bar. There are action button options, so if you have an action button, you can have it open in a new window to the link, or scroll to the specific section if the button goes to a specific section on your page. You can enter a header magazine banner code. You can have a search icon in your header. You can turn on or off the sliding top, which is the widgetized area sliding from the top. And we actually learned how to set up the sliding top in the header tutorial. And here you can choose an icon for the sliding top section if you want one. And this is the WPML language flags. You can select drop-down or horizontal flags, or you can completely hide them. Don't forget to click Save Changes if you make a change. Next is the menu and action bar, and this is where you can change the style for some of the headers. Make sure to save if you make any changes. And under action bar, you can turn the section under the header containing your slogan, phone number, email address, and social icons on or off. The slogan will be the text visible under the menu. Your phone will be visible next to your slogan text. You can add a second phone number visible next to the slogan text, and an email address which is visible next to your phone number. Make sure to click Save Changes. Next, we'll talk about sidebar options. This is a default option for pages and posts. You can set whether your post or page will be full width, include a left or right sidebar, and you can always set up your own layout when creating a page or a post, and you can manage all of your sidebars here. It's important you do not use any special characters for your sidebar titles, as WordPress will not accept them. So you can add a sidebar here, set the width, set the line style, the page layout. If you've created a sidebar and you want a forced sidebar on all of your pages, this is where you enter the name. You can select your post layout, post sidebar, another forced sidebar, but this is for posts instead of pages, your portfolio layout, a forced portfolio sidebar, and make sure you click Save Changes. Next is blog, portfolio, and shop. So under the general settings, your general options relating to your blog, your portfolio, and your shop pages. So all pages in pagination is if you want to show all the pages instead of a short list of the pages near the current page. Blog, portfolio, you can turn that on or off. You can turn on or off your love box. You can show your navigation arrows. You can turn on your share box or hide it only on mobile. And you can choose a single title heading if you want. Make sure to save if you make any changes. Next, we'll go on to the blog. This is where you can edit the options relating to blog pages only. You can specify how many posts are going to be on a page. You can choose the blog layout, classic, masonry tiles, photo, timeline. You can choose the number of columns, and 2 to 4 is recommended. If you have too many, it will crash the layout. This is where you can assign the correct page for a blog. You can choose how many words are in your excerpt and your filters. You can include a load more button and post metadata. And for each single post, you can decide to show a title, zoom image, author box, and a certain number of related posts, and how many columns they're in. You can either choose to show comments or not show comments. And if you need a different layout for a single post pages, you can enter your layout ID here, and you can choose your menu right here. You can also click the randomize button to show random number of loves per post. Make sure to click Save Your Changes. And next we are going to go on to the portfolio settings, where you can enter the amount of projects shown per page on portfolio pages. You can select the layout, the columns, and if you want the page to be full width, you can assign which page you want to be your portfolio so that these settings are affecting that page. You can order by the date, menu order, title, or random order. and they can be ascending or descending. You can select how you want to open the portfolio link with project link, and you can turn on hover title, which shows the project title instead of hover icons. You'd really want to only use this for short project titles. You got filters. You have jQuery filtering, which you can choose whether or not to filter portfolio items using their jQuery plugin to improve the portfolio's appearance. You can have a load more button for the Ajax load more feature. The single project is where you're going to set your settings for each single project in your portfolio. You can show related projects or not. You can show the comments on each single project. You can enter your layout ID, and you can select what menu you want. Again, you can use random love here. You can use this to link to a single item. After changing, you need to go to settings, permalinks, and click save changes button. And this is a link to the categories. And after you change this, you need to go to settings, permalinks, and click the save changes button as well. Don't forget to save your changes here first though, before you navigate away from this page. Next, we are going to edit the shop, which requires the WooCommerce plugin, which is a free plugin that you can use with this theme. You can choose the products per page, your layout. You can make a catalog mode, which removes all add to cart buttons for each product. You can show the descriptions on the shop page or not. You can choose the image styling. You can choose what you want for the shop sidebar and the shop slider. You can select a default feature or external plugin for your featured images. You can choose to show related products. You can choose how the products are going to be shown. You can choose to show the product in the title. You can set your own cart icon with any of these icons below. If you do not want a cart icon, just leave the field blank. And again, make sure to click Save Changes. Now, in this Pages section, we're going to go over all of the options relating to the pages. First, we have General Options, which we can turn on page comments and we can turn off page comments. Next is the Error 404 section, where you can choose an icon for your 404 error page, and you can also choose your own 404 page instead of the default. So you can actually send it to another page on your website instead of it just showing Error 404. Next, the Under Construction options are related to the Under Construction page. If you turn this on, your Under Construction page will be visible to all users who are not logged in. You can have a title, text, the launch date of your website, and select the appropriate time zone. And this is where you will enter your shortcode for your contact form if you're using contact form 7. And you can create any form you want to use to present to users in contact form 7. And you can select your own Under Construction page right here if you want, if you've created one, instead of using the default one that this creates. Again, save changes if you want an Under Construction page for your website. Next is Footer options, and this is how to set up options that are relating to your footer. You can select a footer layout, you can select a footer style, you can select the padding you want. You can create a background image. You can have a call to action text appear under your footer widgets. Here you can enter your own copyright text, or you can leave it blank to show a default copyright. Here you can hide the footer section where copyrights and social icons appear if you want. You can have a back to the top button, so when someone scrolls all the way down to the footer, they can simply click back to the top and it will bring them all the way back to the top of the page instead of them having to scroll. You can type your contact form 7 shortcode in here if you want a pop-up email icon on the correct slide. You can also have a pop-up contact form icon here if you wish. Next are the responsive settings, and this is how you're going to set up options that are relating to the responsive mode. You can turn responsive on and off. You can enable or disable your additional responsive mode options here. You can automatically decrease the size of the font in responsive. You can enable or disable hover effects for mobile devices. You can have a sticky menu button and have a menu button text instead of a menu icon. You can have a background image, and here you can use a logo if you want a different logo for your mobile versions from web versions. Again, if you make changes, make sure to click save. Next are the SEO options that come with Rocket Builder, and here you can paste your Google Analytics code so you can track your site. You can paste your Google remarketing code to add potential customers to your Google list. And if you're using an external SEO plugin, you can easily turn on and off the built-in SEO option here. And this is a meta description for your home pages, also is a default description for each page added in the pages section. And you can use meta keywords for home pages, also default keywords for each page added in the pages section. Again, if you make changes, make sure to save before navigating away. Next are the social options, and we have also gone over these already in the tutorial for header. So it's really simple. You just enter your social media links and choose if you want to open them in a new window or not. The only thing is that you need to make sure that each link to your social media site includes http://. If it doesn't have that, it's not going to work. Next, we go to add-ons and plugins, and this is how to set up options relating to add-ons and external plugins. So Parallax plugin, you can use NLAX, which is the new one, or Stellar, which is the old one. You can choose Nice Scroll to select a scroll bar with a similar iOS mobile style. You can select the Nice Scroll speed. You can select Pretty Photo options, which are additional options related with Pretty Photo and Pretty Photo style, and your Pretty Photo width for the pop-up width for iframe videos, and the height for the pop-up height for iframe videos. Under add-ons, you can disable the default gallery if you're using an external gallery plugin, and you can also disable the Retina.js. Next, under premium plugins, these are the options that are related with the premium plugins, for example, Revolution Slider, Layer Slider, and Visual Composer. You can choose if you want the plugin bundled in the package or not. If you've purchased your own license, you just select that you purchased your own license and save changes if you want. Next, we are going to go on to colors, and this is one of the most powerful options section in the theme options panel. You can set up any color for any part of your page. First, under general, there are just a few options in this section. You can choose your theme skin, which is a predefined style, or you can set your own colors. Just make sure that you know that the custom color can only be used with the custom skin. So if you choose custom skin, you can select your own color or custom color. You can select your background color with body background and content background. If you select one color for all of the elements will be chosen. Next are the header colors, where you can select all the different colors for the different elements in the header. So the header background, top bar left background, top bar middle background, top bar right background, top bar right icon color, search bar background, subheader title color. Make sure you save your changes. Then you have your menu and action bar colors, all of your content colors, and you can choose a single color for multiple icons, buttons, and page elements with theme color. Otherwise, you can choose your text color, link hover color, fancy link color, background, hover color, hover background, note color, list color, drop cap and highlight background, highlight section, HR color, button background, and button color. You can edit the colors in your footer, edit the colors in your sliding top, edit the colors in your headings, and you can edit the colors with your short codes. And this is just so easy to change a color. And just make sure you click save if you change the colors. Next, we're going to go on to the fonts you use in your website. Under family, this is where you can create the content font for all themes except heading and menu. This is your main menu font, which will be used for your header menu. Your page title font, which will be used for your subheader title. Your big headings font, which will be used for all big headings like H1, H2, H3, and H4. And your small headings font, which will be used for H5 and H6 headings. Your block quote font, which will be used for block quote item, and your decorative font. Here is a bunch of Google fonts, and you can even choose your own Google font subset here. And for a complete list of available font subsets, you can go to the Google Web Fonts. Again, once you change your fonts, make sure you click Save Changes. Then under Size for Fonts, this is where you can update the size for all theme text, for the top menu, for your page titles, and then all the different numbers of headings. And this will apply to all of the text in these categories. Again, save your changes. And last for fonts is custom. And this is where you can type a custom font name that will be uploaded in the 4 fields below. This is where you would enter the WOFF file for the custom font, the TTF file for the custom font, SVG file for the custom font, or the EOT file for the custom font. And you can enter a second custom font name, and below are the 4 fields you would enter. You need to make sure that each file is uploaded in the correct fields for the custom font to work properly if you want to upload your own custom font and not use Google Fonts. If you don't have all of these files uploaded in the correct spot, your font is not going to work properly. Next is translate and the built-in translator. So if we hit translate under general, this is going to depend on how you want to translate your theme. If you don't want to translate using the MO and PO files, you can do it easily with the options in this section. You can enable or disable translate. You can set up a placeholder, text, header, and widget search. You can set up a placeholder text for your search page. You can set up breadcrumbs text. You can set up the text available on pages with pagination, and again on pages with pagination for next page. And for load more, you can set up the text available on pages where load more button is available. And this is the text available in the header when you use the WPML plugin. Days is the text available on pages with a countdown, and so is hours, minutes, and seconds. Save your changes. And setting up the text for blog and portfolio languages is the text visible on the blog and portfolio pages. For tags, authors, show all, published by, at, categories, tags, read more, do you like it, related projects, your client, date, website, view website, and task. And you can save changes here. Now for your Error 404 page, this is 100% configurable. This is your title for your Arrow 404 page and your subtitle, your text, and you can add a text button for your Error 404 page. Now, WPML is an optional premium plugin that's not included with this theme. If you want to build multilingual sites and run them, this is extremely powerful but simple to use. You can buy it and download it here if you want. The next is the custom CSS and JS. This is where you can enter your custom CSS code or your custom JS code for your website. And make sure you don't have any errors in it, or obviously it's not going to work. And finally, we have import and export. And this information is especially helpful for those who wish to move settings from theme options panel between themes, or move a website from a test server to a live server. And there are several ways to import or export settings. And you can also always reset your settings to the default if you want the theme to look like the one in our demo version.